signed off this morning on a proposal we have to present to the Congress a request for additional funding for a new vaccine that is necessary and works.
President Biden late last week laying out his plan for a call on Congress to pass more funding for new COVID vaccine as cases across the nation are on the rise again. We're back now with the panel, and Dr. Marty Makary from Johns Hopkins, our viewers will be very familiar with him, wrote a piece in the Wall Street Journal this week. He says, is this our new drug approval process? There are no human outcomes data on our new shot, which the Food and Drug Administration is expected to approve in the next 2 weeks. Undermining the normal scientific and regulatory process erodes public trust. Of course, he notes that 20% of Americans, that's all we got taking the last booster last time around. The government spent $5 billion on it, and millions of doses had to be thrown away. I'm not sure people know that it's not being tested on humans.
Well, it's interesting about that data because it's concentrated. I went to my doctor in Virginia. I spend most of my time in Texas, and my doctor told me that almost all of his patients are taking it. When I go back to Texas, I can't find a person that is taking it. So this construct where in Washington, everybody thinks this is what you're supposed to do and it's normal. There are Americans all across the country and they wonder, why aren't we following the normal protocols? Why aren't we doing the kinds of things that give us the kind of assurance? And that may explain why so few people outside of the East Coast and the West Coast are ending up taking it.
Well, and Dr. Fauci's out there talking about this, also the chatter about the new cases and about the new shot and about whether mask mandates are going to come back. Here's what he said yesterday.
I think people need to realize it is extremely unlikely that you're going to see a mandate, for example, from the CDC, which has no authority to mandate anything with regard to masks. They can only recommend it.
Howie, a lot of skeptics, though, because they'll say, sure, CDC only recommends things, but that for millions and millions of people meant mandates on shots, on masks, all kinds of things for the last couple of years. They have fallen out of love, many of them, with the CDC.
That's putting it mildly. I can't believe we're still talking about COVID. I know at least a half dozen people in the last 2 weeks who have gotten it. Fortunately, it's a mild diversion. But as far as masks or lockdowns or mandates, the consensus has so radically moved. Looking back now, when we know a lot more, I think there's a feeling that these were failures, by and large, not necessarily in every single case. So I don't think we're going to see any rational politician say, we're going to order this. You have to take the shot. You have to get a mask or you can't go to school, go to work, whatever it is. That would be, I think, at this point, political suicide.
Yeah, we are seeing some individual private organizations that are popping up with some of those things as we track and see. I want to make sure we get to this other topic, though. This week, the Senate is back in session. We saw Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell had another public episode that's raising concerns about his health. His doctor has said he's fine. He has cleared him. But let me just give you Nikki Haley's take on this. And she's talking not just about him, but about other lawmakers here in D.C.
It's sad. No one should feel good about saying that. With any more than we should feel good about seeing Dianne Feinstein, any more than we should feel good about a lot of what's happening or seeing Joe Biden's decline. What I will say is right now the Senate is the most privileged nursing home in the country.
So, Marie, now this is a conversation that both parties have to have because they both have very prominent senior members who have questions about their ability to do their jobs.
Well, first on health, I just want to say I had COVID for 18 days earlier this month. It was not mild. It was not fun. And we should get these updated vaccines if you are able to health-wise, because we've gone through this every time we've talked about new boosters with Omicron, who they're tested on, who they're not. The reason we are in the middle of a surge and more people aren't in the hospital is because of vaccines. So I just want to say that, having lived through COVID fairly recently. Look, on the issue of health in Congress,